Shadowsun here. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a blog post in video form. I highly encourage you to check out the blog post below because I have more information. I want to share thoughts on color magic. This is a two-part discussion. So in this first part, I mentioned in the blog post that while I was writing it, I had more thoughts that I could expand on. And one of the things that I felt it was really important to talk about was my physical perception of color. And the reason I want to bring that up is because I want some context for people to understand. I use a lot of color magic in my practice. I work with colors regularly when I'm building an altar, when I'm casting spells. And in the second part of this, I talk more on the spell aspect of things and the magic aspect of things. I hope that you are seeing me well in this video because it's kind of dreary outside and dark and very stormy, or at least it looks like it's going to rain anytime now, which we really need in this area and in California in general. It's a mess. But anyhow, going on to the blog post, I wanted to get into my physical ability to see color is rather interesting because I have a very limited extent at which I can see color. So a lot of it is dependent on contrast, as I mentioned in the blog post. So it's also dependent on ambient lighting. It's also dependent on other factors as well. Really, it's how my vision is. So certain things I see with some clarity, others I do not. So I like to give the example of putting a clear glass on a kitchen table. If that table has a very bright color to it, like if it's white or if it's clear and it's the same color, I will easily knock the glass down off the table if I'm not paying attention. But of course, if I am paying attention, I'm going to know that the glass is there in the first place. That being said, going to an example of colors, I generally will see shade in most cases. I don't mention that too much in the blog post, but it just depends on what I'm trying to do, what I'm wearing, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to use. So in the case of colors, like if I'm getting a crystal, for example, I mentioned in the blog post that I don't think you need to see to understand color. I know this is probably a controversial statement, but I believe color has its own energetic component. And I do mention that in the blog post. It's going to sound very new age, but I think that if the color has a frequency of its own, it's able to be perceived in different ways. So for myself, I'm a very tactile person, and I'm also a very multi-sensory person. So in terms of colors, I have mentioned in the blog post where I grab a quartz piece. Somebody handed me a piece of quartz. I didn't realize it was quartz at the time, but I picked it up. They didn't tell me anything about it. They just handed me a random stone and they said, "What is this?" And I said, "It's quartz." I could tell by the energy, I could tell by the crystal's tactile sense, but I also held it up in front of me. So if I were to take this blue candle here, sorry, that's way too close. I'm holding this thing up to my face, probably closer than anybody should. It's like an inch. Maybe if I go any closer, it's like maybe closer than that. This is the taper candle here. It's blue. I have to hold things up close to my face to see them from a very limited visual point of view. Again, that's where the contrast comes in. And I felt that it was very important to explain that because this does go into spells and magic, because I do care about the colors that I wear in an everyday sense. I am very mindful of the outfits I choose. I'm very mindful of the colors I choose when I work spells. So, for example, that blue candle there, I use that candle to represent healing, and I also have used the color blue to represent water. I've also used blue in spells related to any type of stuff related to depression. Actually, blue just makes me feel very calm. I don't know how to explain that. And I think there's even been studies on colors and associations with depression, but don't quote me on that. So these are just a few examples. So I hope that this video has been helpful, and I hope that the blog post in the description also helps you as well understand this perspective. If you're interested in more information on this, please check out the next video, because I'll be talking all about color magic and spells and all of those amazing things related to how I use colors in my magical practice. So if you like what you see so far, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and please turn the bell sound on. And when you do, make sure it's set to all so you get all my notifications when videos come up. Speak to you all soon, and many blessings.